So we have chickens up here, and it's a little hard for me to get up here every day. The roadway up here is very, very slick, even for a 4x4 side-by-side. So these are roosters in here. There's no need to check them like every day. We don't have to get eggs or anything. They're really just kind of clearing this land for us. You guys can kind of see they started down there, and they've been working their way down. So that's kind of their purpose. I actually bought roosters on accident from a hatchery. I didn't realize they were roosters until we got them and we started looking. I'm like, man, it looks like a rooster. And I went back on the slip, and sure enough, they're roosters. So this was, kind of like our use for them. They, for their water setup at the moment, which I won't spend too much on, you can see they're kind of getting through there to drink the water on the outside because there's just not enough room inside. It gets dirty and stuff. And I was basically learning as I go here, and I was basically just, throwing the food on the ground, thinking, well, they'll eat it, and it'll help. Some of those scratch grains, believe it or not, will grow. I've had them grow, and so, I thought, well, it'll help, the soil, but at the same time, right, like you're wasting a lot. You can only give them so much at a time. So I got to looking online for like perpetual feeders, and I will tell you they're pretty expensive for ones that go on cages like this. This is a very big dog crate. I don't know, I think it's like the biggest one they have. I don't know the sizes, but anyway, I have this for them up here, and they have roost. I ran a roost bar thing through it and everything. They got a nice setup, but again, perpetual feeders, right? So they have this kind of thing you can buy. Okay, you can buy it from like, I don't know, probably Tractor Supply or whatever. But I had this 3-inch PVC, which I don't think you need to use 3-inch. I just used it because I had it. I would not use 1-inch. I think 2-inch could work, and I think 4-inch could work. But I think you really need to be in that 2 to 4-inch bracket, because 1's too small and 5 is huge. So, you need to be in a certain frame there, but nevertheless, this is kind of what I come up with, right? And I don't know if it's going to work totally. I think something I just designed, which is kind of what I wanted to go over with you today. So I did actually just put the cap on it, because, right, like, probably thinking he doesn't have a cap on that. Well, I do. I had just been holding on to it. So there is just a cap, and this will come off and on. I'm not gluing that because, I don't really want to use glue in this application for chickens, for one. And for two, right, you got to take it on and off. So you can't really glue that. The rest of it, I suppose you could, although I did not. Anyway, so it's just zip tied to this crate. I used a grinder, and I cut basically an entrance for this thing to go into. And down there is an elbow. And then I cut a small section of PVC just to basically make that end cap fit. And I cut the top off the end cap and the PVC under it. And so it is a very, very simplistic thing. I didn't cut it. I've seen some of the ones, they cut it in the front. But I felt like if I cut it like on the front, like on facing that direction there, I felt like it'd be more easy for it just to kind of fall out. As to where, like, this may not work with chicks, but these are these are mature roosters. There's no reason why they can't, and obviously they can, right? They're actually really liking it. So there's no reason why they can't, just reach up over it. So I don't think this would work with chicks or maybe even young roosters, but these guys are several months old, so they're fine. But anyway, so you can use, again, the length that you want. I have an end cap here. An end cap there, so I had to get 2 end caps. The PVC I already had, including that small section down there to go in between the elbow and the end. And then the elbow I had to buy. So really, I'm in it for the caps and the elbow. The caps and the elbow, I did have to buy a couple of other things from Lowe's at the same time, so it's kind of hard for me to say. I'm going to guess, though, it was probably, I mean, again, I'm guessing, guys. I think that elbow was about $8 and the caps were about $4. So that means I really got about $16 in it. And then, of course, I guess if you want to count zip ties, but everybody should have zip ties on hand. So, but I mean, it might be a little hard for me to do this, but I mean, you guys can see, right? Like it's not going anywhere. Yeah. So this actually, I mean, the tube itself at the current length is, I'm going to guess it's probably like 30 inches or so. And I did not fill it because this is maiden voyage. And if something were to happen, I don't want to waste a ton of food. So, I mean, to be honest though, guys, like if you filled this, I mean, for 3 roosters, I mean, my gosh, I don't even know how long that would last. It would last a while. Probably a week or so at least. You know, because they're also eating stuff off the ground, which is kind of the purpose of being up here, and help us build soil. So, yeah, I mean, this could last a long time. Technically, I think you could probably put it another foot, maybe, before you'd have to worry about the weight of it being a problem and potentially tipping the cage. But I didn't do that. Right, there's only 3 roosters, and if I ever did have to extend it, it'd be easy enough to put a union there and then go up with more pipe. But again, just not necessary. So the thing is, guys, is that if you're looking for a real easy chicken perpetual feeder, this is a great one. If you have to buy the PVC, totally depends on your length and where you get it. But I still think you could do this for about the same price as you could buy one. And I'm going to tell you guys something. If you're buying one, I can promise you that the walls on whatever you're buying are not this thick. I did actually think about building another one, putting it on the opposite end over there to kind of balance the weight, but putting one over there for water and doing the same thing. And I don't see why that would not work. That, though, you would have to glue. With the pressure of the water, there's a very good chance that it's going to come off, and you don't want to have chickens up here without water. So, you know, I don't really have any of that glue right now, so I can't even try it, but I might pick some up and try it. You know, I know that there are, like, bless you, buddy. I know there are some non-toxic glues on the market, but yeah, if you're looking to make a cheap, long-lasting perpetual feeder, guys, this is probably the option for you. And I got enough, again, to do a waterer. But I mean, a length of 3-inch PVC is not really that much money. It might be like $15, but a length is generally 6 to 10 foot, depending on where you're at, and where you're buying it from. So again, you got about 3 feet of it here, give or take 2 to 3 feet. So, you know, you do the math. You can make quite a few of these off of one length. But anyway, guys, just want to make this video. Thank you all for watching. Have a blessed day.